Welcome to the Thunderdome. Now, what's up, guys? We are back today with yet another episode of Wham's World. I'm very happy to see all the support that you guys are giving this channel, to this and the channel, sorry, and I very much appreciate it. So let's jump right in. The last episode had some issues with the audio, and I have made sure that that will not happen ever again. I have no clue why either, because I don't really screw with my audio settings too much, simply to avoid things like that, you know. But I don't know. I'm not gonna question it too much. I'm just gonna roll with it, I suppose. But yes. Very unfortunate, but like I found that, to be honest, like, I thought about re-recording it, but that was like almost 2 hours. And do I really have the time to give up yet another 2 hours for it? Not particularly. So I'm more than likely just gonna leave it up, unless I just get some random time where I'm like, oh, I can do it, But it depends. Anyway, so yes, we are back. Last episode was a big episode for the house. We actually kind of have a place now, and I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah. And I wouldn't mind getting some paintings going and stuff in here, making it look a little bit more homely, I suppose. But first of all, we're gonna sleep. Also, I am very happy with the area that I have chosen for this. Man, yeah, what a gorgeous sunset. Or sunrise. My bad. But yeah. Really, I have no clue what we're gonna do today. I've got no big plans. I have stuff to talk about. But I think starting out, I'm just gonna start building up this area a little bit more. And I don't see why I shouldn't either. So. And maybe by the end of this, we might go check out the Nether, I'm thinking. That is something I'm quite interested in. Here we go. Get a better path up here real quick, but yeah, hope everybody's doing well and stuff. By the point that this episode is up, you guys should check out the Resident Evil gameplay that I uploaded. That was pretty horrifying, to be honest. I've never been a big Resident Evil guy, really just a big horror game guy in general. But hey, I mean, I decided to give it a go, and I was really happy with it. I think it's definitely one of the best horror games I've played. I can see why people rate it so highly. What a nice long path up here. That should be good. But the big thing I know that I need to do is get some animals going, so I can get some books and yada yada yada. Thought I had wheat. Maybe I just have hay bales. Nope. Okay, cool. Awesome. Alright, let's get it going. Haven't gotten Distant Horizons yet. That's probably going to be for the next episode. I don't know if you guys also have, if anybody even really cares at all. But I am uploading these every Monday at 10 a.m. I think this is a good time just because it's kind of the beginning of the week, and when you're, I don't know, I think this is a nice thing to do, to start at the beginning of the week, kind of talking about stuff, thinking a little bit deeper about certain things. And I was torn between, because I do Monday, Friday uploads. Wow, lots of sheep. Let's get these guys over here. But yeah, I do Monday, Friday uploads. And I like that schedule because I'm not too bogged down. I love actually having a schedule compared to what I've done in previous iterations of this channel. Everybody get over here, come on. Be attracted to me, come on. Everybody up. Yeah. Minecraft sheep do look so goofy. At least we're gonna get some a good amount of sheep going here. But yes. I like doing this on Monday, especially because at the beginning of the week, you know, I feel kind of bogged down. But I've noticed that as I record these episodes, I feel much more in tune with myself, I guess. Single file. I said single file. You move. Come on. There we go. You got one in. Alright. Come on, man. This is the one thing I hate about doing sheep in Minecraft. Nope, you stay. Come on in. 2. Alright. Come on. Hey. Be attracted again. There we go. Cool. Awesome. Breed. Right. I also gotta make some, what you call it, carpets, so I can get up here a little bit easier. Which I know I have a ton of wool in the house. But yeah, like I said, I'm very happy with where this is going so far. And I'm working a little bit more on trying to work with the content a little bit more, I guess, of the episode and stuff. But yeah, we will see how this goes in the future. Is it? Okay. That is the first time that I've ever figured out how to make a barrel in Minecraft. Like, I have no clue what the recipe is for it. Oh, man. I'm also thinking about maybe bringing somebody on to the series. I think that'd be kind of fun. But I assume that I could just port the world seed over or whatever. Maybe the world file. But that's for a later time. I'd also have to find somebody. I have a couple guys that I stream with. But really, I'm not too. I'm not saying they're bad at all or anything. It's just I would like to do it with somebody new and maybe kind of give it a fresh outlook, I suppose. But yeah, I'm gonna put this here. Oh, I might as well get these shears. Give me your wool. And the breeding begins. The game begins, I suppose. Actually, I need some wheat, at the very least. So hopefully we can get some cows in here, too. I think there were some cows on the top of this hill at some point, so I'm gonna go over here first. But, I also... Sorry, I forgot to pull up my talking points for today. Today we're going to be talking about fighting with people, which is a very interesting kind of topic to bring up, at least I think, because fighting it can be very general, you know, but a lot of times people believe that fighting is, you know, a negative thing, and I truly do believe that it can be a positive thing, and it's all about the outlook, and it's all about the way you look at it, you know. Fighting normally has subtexts of love, like almost all the time. When you really think about it, when somebody's fighting with you, normally they're really not fighting against you, they're fighting for you. And I mean, I don't have the greatest family life, but I have a fine one, you know. And as I've kind of gotten older and stuff, and I've lost, not lost, but I've thought more about certain events in my life and where it goes. I've kind of found that, like, really that has chalked up most of our family's arguments, right? I'm not saying my family's perfect and they did everything right, you know. there were a lot of things that were done wrong, you know, in my personal life, and I'm assuming in your life as well. However, does that necessarily mean that everything was done wrong either, you know? And as I was talking about earlier, that's kind of perspective of it a little bit, right? I'd love to find some cows. It's just sheep. Feeling like it's just sheep. But yeah, when you fight with somebody, when you personally fight with somebody, right? Normally you have a reason for doing so. Most people don't fight without a reason. And is that a? Oh, that's just a llama. But yeah, as I was talking about, most people don't fight without a reason, and recognizing and agreeing upon the reason why. Oh hey, cool, awesome. Gather around, kiddos. Come on, come on, be attracted to me. Oh man, I hope we can make it back before dark too. Try to get all 4 of these guys. Alright guys, come on, come along, come along, come along. But yes, recognizing and agreeing upon the reason why fights occur solves more issues than people may think. And I do have this quote from Matthew McConaughey, the actor. It's called Green Lights. He has a wonderful book where he kind of talks about his life and his upbringing and how it kind of guided him through his life, right? And I think he was in Africa at the time. And I think it was an African villager told him, it's not about being right or wrong, it's about whether you understand each other. And that right there is actually like a huge point that that's kind of going to guide this episode. And I read this a few months ago, and I've been trying to kind of live by it as time has gone on. And I've found that it's honestly solved a lot of things in my personal life. And again, it's not about being right or wrong, it's about whether you understand each other. Finding common ground and compromising and making the best of a situation. I feel like a lot of people could agree with me here that that is what love and life is about. You know, I mean, think about all the times in your life where you have got into an argument with somebody and it just lasted for so long and it just simply took a lot out of you, you know, and you were completely and utterly just distraught about it, right? There's no reason, or there's no way that's even wrong, you know. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you unfortunately end up putting more effort into certain things than other people do, right? But think about how it would have solved it if 2 people just sat down and simply just talked about why they were angry, you know, and what made it upset. Not about somebody being right or somebody being wrong, having to put somebody on a cross and all that, right? Just think about how that would have solved. Because I'm willing to bet money that it would have solved at least something, right? Gather around, kiddos. Oh, I thought that was a spider for a second. Hey, come on. Come, my child. Right. But yes, like I said, like I haven't had the greatest family life and all that. Nobody has, you know. And people get into arguments over dumb things. People fight over dumb things all the time. But really, you have to kind of look at something I've learned in film school that kind of has a relation to real life is the note beneath the note, right? I think that's a good way to put that, you know? Hey, come back. Come back. The hell over. Single file, baby. Single file. Hey, turn. Turn. There we go. Perfect. Excellent job, gang. Alright. You will now personally breed for me. Alright, cool. Is there 2 babies or just 1? Did they not make a baby? Oh no, there was 2. Okay. And so it begins. And so it begins. Oh, wow, these sheep already grew. Oh no, one of them did. Alright, let's get a little sleep going. A little sleep action. Oh, well, I'm gonna fight you. Boom. And we got a nice little potion. Yeah. I'm also probably going to try to move some of the stuff inside as well. Right. There's like a festival going on right next to my apartment right now. They closed down a whole city street. And there was actually, unfortunately, an overdose across the street from my apartment this morning. I went and talked to the people. But, yeah, very unfortunate. What can happen sometimes. Yeah. You know, people argue over dumb things a lot. But fighting over dumb things normally doesn't happen. And I do believe there is a difference between arguments and fights. Fights tend to not necessarily be physical, but they cut deeper than an argument. I can argue all the livelong day about a movie that I find good, you know? And somebody may not agree with me on that, you know? However, I don't fight with people about that. And I think an important distinction can be made between arguments and fights because of that, right? You know, you can, like I said, you can argue all the time about how, oh, you know, this or that. But fighting over something is completely different, right? Fighting, in my opinion, has much bigger implications on a winner in that fight, right? Rather than an argument. You know, an argument normally, at least should end up simply being, it just, you know, maybe sometimes people can not agree, right? And they can let it go. But fighting normally has a winner. And particularly issues with like family and stuff like that, you know. Every family fights, and I wholeheartedly believe that, and I know that from experience. You know, not everybody. I mean, to be honest, nobody has a perfect life. You know. You know, you even think about those families, you know, that like always seem to get along. Most families end up, unfortunately, changing around other people versus when they're home alone, right? And that's something that I think anybody can work on, you know. No matter how good of a parent you are, or a son you are, or a daughter, anybody can work on that. And try to do better on being true, right? Now, that isn't going to say that you should always just be saying what happens in your family. That is a big thing. You know, even particularly in abuse cases, lots of people are afraid to stand up and fight, right? And because they're really afraid to make more problems, which is a cycle of unfortunate abuse, right? Whereas, kind of just saying like, oh, my dad did this, my dad did that. There's a difference between complaining and talking about it, right? And it's very easy to complain. I'm sure you all know this, you know. You go to your job, somebody isn't pulling their weight. Very easy to complain about that. But really, complaining about stuff never does fix it, unfortunately. But what does fix it is talking about it healthily. And again, that is a difference between talking about something and then arguing about something and then fighting about something, right? It is very unfortunate how to sometimes people can misconstrue intentions or misconstrue actions, right? And words and all that, right? I got something written down here. This is something that I have a family friend who's a priest. He said once about how words can hurt, and words do hurt very much, but actions are painful, right? And choosing what to say and when to say it, right? Even how to say it is an action in itself, right? You kind of think about in your life, right? Where people simply were just like they said something that hurt you, right? And if you really think about it, it's not so much the words that end up hurting you. Obviously, it can be, but more often than not, it's more so the act of going against you, and you feel that you're being slighted against, and so on, right? That is all an action. I was talking about the action of saying the words versus the words themselves. And I also think that's something that can solve a lot of arguments. Because I'm sure you've argued with your parents before, and you've probably said something that you didn't mean, right? And they got upset about it, right? Well, when that kind of stuff happens, right? Normally, in an argument like that, it's not the words that hurt. It's the actions of saying it and of going against you, And like I was talking about earlier, the subtext of love. More often than not, when you are fighting with somebody and you are trying to win an argument, you're doing so because you think that you know better for the person. And that's a whole subject in and out of itself, right? Is to understand how very simply, most actions are done out of love. But sometimes you really do just have to let go. I was talking in the last episode about this coin this 3D printed chip that I have from Fallout New Vegas' Dead Money DLC. And on the back of it, it says the words "begin again," and it's the motto of the DLC, where it says "begin again, but know when to let go," right? That is an important thing, and that's the big thing that I wanted to talk about today, is when to stop fighting. And it's not as easy as just being like, as early as possible, A very somewhat can be heartbreaking thing is that, plainly, I guess, sometimes people do need to be away from each other. No matter how much you love each other, no matter how much you care, how much you want to win the argument, how much you want to see the person do better, sometimes people do need to be away from each other. And I will tell you about my mom and her mom, my grandmother, who argue all the time, unfortunately. It's a thing that, to be honest, in our family it's been around for a very long time. And my mom was very upset a few weeks ago when my grandma just kind of stopped talking to her and just told her, "I do not want to talk to you right now." It wasn't over anything major. Nobody was being slighted at all. It was very simply, sometimes people do need to take a break. And it's particularly in an argument, when you're arguing about stuff like that, it's quite hard to be able to stop, think about how many times in your life that you've been arguing and you just go, "Let's just stop this right now. Let's come back to this at a later date." Nobody really does it, to be honest. At least in my personal life, I've found that, right? Well, think about how that would have helped. you know? And that goes back earlier to what I was talking about. It's not about being right or wrong, it's about whether you understand each other, right? And in that, it is about understanding why you are fighting. It's about understanding why you simply are doing what you're doing, right? Normally, it's out of love. And that is something that most people don't end up recognizing, and especially before it's too late. Sorry, I gotta take a second. It's not too late most of the time. And in fact, in order to act is better most of the time, I've found. And I think a lot of video games and a lot of movies are written with in mind certain things, with certain things like letting go, right? Like, hurting, for example, and the ability to understand in life that it is not too late. For example, Red Dead Redemption 2 has a lot of those themes in it. And people often herald it as one of the greatest games of all time, which, let's face the facts, kind of is. But yeah. It's just crazy to think, and I think people might not truly grasp how much of their life is dictated by the action of continuing to fight. And that is the balance of life. To be quite clear, you cannot do everything right the first time, nor will you do everything right the first time. But it definitely is about a balance. That's something that a friend of mine, his name is Brock, he's been telling me about and kind of getting me more involved with that idea of balance, right? I had some stuff happen recently in my life where I did something that I thought was making other people happy, and it ended up hurting somebody, and hurting actually quite a few people. It's not a big deal or anything. The past is the past and all that. However, in this, it definitely took a lot for me to realize how, to be quite frank, like, people change for other people. And to balance, in this, right, I completely threw away to the wind everything that I believed in, right? And I just made a bad decision, right? But I kind of took some time away from my friend group, and everybody was very respectful about it. People checked in on me and stuff, but I definitely needed some time away, because I had been working on making these people so happy for so long, right? That I hadn't really thought about it, It was just very plainly and simply being like, oh, I need to make these people happy. I need to do this. And that is quite a heartbreaking thing. Not to say like toot my own horn, but not to make myself seem better, but really it is quite a heartbreaking thing to think about, right? Where you simply are unable to recognize stuff like that, right? I'm gonna start building the basement today. I have decided that. How do you build ladders? Really, I knew how to build a barrel, but this thing that I've been building most of my life in Minecraft, I forgot about. You know what I want? I want some smooth stone. I'm gonna start smelting some of that. Because I have a bunch of stone somewhere. Hope I didn't use it all. Maybe it's upstairs. No. Like, I swear I had a ton of stone. Huh. It's a little bit confusing and concerning. Oh, thanks. Well, I guess, let's go mine some stone, guys. But, yes, as I was talking about, you know, to throw myself to the wind like that, right? And to, unfortunately, like, make decisions in the name of other people. That hurts people, right? And like I said, I took some time away from my friend group. And to be honest, it was, for a couple days, you know, it was kind of hard. You know, obviously, nobody wants to be away from their friends. Or, to be quite frank, in my case, you know, my family. My friends, without a doubt, are some of the closest people in my life, and I consider them family. And, sometimes it is good to be away from each other, but coming back from that, right, you have to take time for yourself, and you have to come back at some point. That's the thing. There is a balance in life you need to strike. And to be honest, it's something that is pretty imperative that you need to strike well. Is that balance between working for yourself and working for other people, you know? Like, for example, if you're the boss of a company, right? You're the CEO or whatever, right? You're not having an affair with your your HR representative, but you could be, you know, you have to worry not only about the company, but you do have to worry about yourself and your own job. Now, to be very, very, very clear, I am very against all the billionaires in this world that think they can do whatever they want, right? But in order to be a good boss, you need to have the empathy, right? And you need to be able to make decisions that will benefit the most amount of people and the majority of people, right? Because obviously we have CEOs like the one of Boeing, who's taking $30 million a year, whereas other Boeing employees are getting $2,000 a year. You know, I saw a clip of the Boeing CEO in front of Congress, and you know how this relates to letting go and all this is truly you do need to understand when it's time to face the facts and to make decisions for other people, but you cannot make decisions solely based on the good of other people, because like I talked about last episode, if you simply just go for oh, I need to make this person happy, right? You will become what they want you to, you know, if you live your life by what others think, you know. And there's a great Hunter Thompson quote that I will find in a second. I will end the stream with that. But he has a really, really great quote about things like that, you know. Let's go. About living your life being dictated by other people, you know. And yeah, you know, it's quite a difficult thing to strike that balance. Give me another light. Let's go. Okay, that's good. Is everybody grown up? Is everybody excited? Yeah. All right. continue the cycle. You guys want some? Make more. Make more. Alright. I'm actually gonna have you guys breed for just a second too. Yeah, you guys rocking and rolling. Yeah. And we also got to start on a farm. Shoot, I forgot about that. And I didn't even really decide where I wanted the farm at. I don't do... Is this a good spot? I don't know. I feel like over there would be better. But I don't want to do all that terraforming. You know what? Right over there. I remember that's where I said that I wanted it. Let's get over there. Let's do it. Yeah, there is absolutely nothing wrong in your life with simply taking a step back. And in fact, I'm sorry, but if people should encourage it, the people who are in your life should be okay with you taking some time for yourself. You don't need to go completely dark, but you do need... Everybody, every once in a while in their life, needs a little bit of time to themselves, you know? To be quite frank, I think that that could be a very big problem in today's society. Is that with, obviously, like, social media and stuff like that, how you can so readily be available to certain people that you don't simply need to just kind of go so hard in trying to figure something out in one sitting, right? And even, you know, you get kicked out of your parents' house, right? Sometimes you got to get some sense knocked into you, you know? Sometimes even your parents have to get some sense knocked into them, you know? Not saying that you have to be the one to do it. Sometimes you have to let people make their own mistakes. And that is a big thing that we can kind of talk about in this whole idea of when to stop fighting, right? I have no iron. Damn it. All right. Might as well just sleep while I'm over here. Solid. But, it's very hard, you know, to understand that. And if I could tell you right now, you know, that like, oh, there's just a way to understand it. There 100% isn't. And it is, honestly, it's a situation by situation thing. I will be very blunt when I say that. You know, because in life, you don't always know the right answer. Nobody knows the right answer, really, ever, you know. And in order to really try to know that right answer, you have to make mistakes. Which is another thing, you know, that most people don't necessarily think about all the time. You know, you get so many people all the time, and they'll tell you, oh, you know, you need to make mistakes. But truly, it is an important thing. And I think in today's society, it is very easy to underestimate stuff like that. The importance of not even just making a mistake, definitely not making a mistake, but understanding that you did make a mistake. Understanding why the mistake was made and why it was wrong. Which moves into an issue of morality, right? And stuff like that. It's a very difficult thing to know. The only thing that you can do sometimes for people is let them make their own mistakes. I've gone round and round with my parents for a very long time. Where I talk to them about how sometimes even the way that they treat certain people, you know, that one day it'll come back to bite them. And maybe I'm right, maybe I'm not. Time is a very sickening thing to think about, but it is the most important thing in your life. At the end of the day, the difference between most, if not all, of your issues is the time. And being able to allow yourself to simply enjoy it, but understand why certain things go wrong, and understanding that sometimes if you give more or less time to certain things, well, you end up living a better life, you know? Something that I'm going to talk about in a future episode is about healing and what defines you, whether your mistakes or your victories do define you. And it is both. It is 1,000,000% both of those things. The gracefulness to make a mistake is much more important than the knowledge not to make a mistake. I'm sure there's like a Bible quote out there or something, you know. I'm almost positive that there is. But, you know, a man who is content to make a mistake, right? And a person who is content to make a mistake is much better off than the man who knows not to make that mistake. It's not about knowing how not to make the mistake, it's about knowing not to make the mistake, you know? And I hope you guys can kind of understand me on that front. And I feel like somebody listening, you know, I feel like you would be able to understand that. Because you need to have the empathy, right? And to have the even just the courage to make a mistake, right, is such an important thing. Because obviously I haven't done everything right. You haven't done everything right. Well, you know, I mean, nobody really does anything right. And that's what makes us human. As I was talking about in the last episode, right? Is to make the mistake and then to learn from it. I believe that's what separates us from certain organisms. And obviously there's certain people who don't feel this way. And is there anything wrong with that? I think endgame wise, you know, when you think about, oh, you know, heaven or hell, and whether we are judged, right? That kind of comes up to you. And your beliefs and who you believe you are, you know, and your God and stuff like that. But I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys are really enjoying the episode so far. I am really enjoying putting these out, I will say. Very happy I kind of came up with this series, and that I actually made something different than just a Let's Play. And I always appreciate the support. If you guys would like to, like or whatever, support however you feel you'd like to. There's no problem with not doing it. There's no problem with doing it. There's definitely no problem with doing it. But yeah. Maybe one day I'll do an episode on talking about the afterlife, you know. I can guarantee you I end up doing an episode about things like death, you know. More hard-hitting subject, I suppose. Gotta get that infinite water source. I'm not a big fan of doing automatic farms. I don't know, I find it very therapeutic and almost like a real farmer, I suppose, because I have a friend who his family owns a farm. And he always talks about how like it is a very rewarding thing at the end of the day to kind of work on yourself and you know, do these things for yourself and for a business. And I think it's different than like owning a restaurant, for example, or things like that. But I was talking about earlier about when to stop fighting, right? And the idea of stopping fighting, right? I don't know, do you really think that there's a right answer to this? Because to be quite honest, I don't think there is. I also think it's very easy just to say that there is no right answer. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it, because I'm kind of spitballing here. There's no right answer. There's no cure to it all, right? It is simply doing right and how you feel that. And I think it might be more so about how you believe in yourself and what you mean, you know. Because you've probably had relationships in your life, right? Where like I mean, you've met people and you've grown apart. Why, you know? Because obviously you don't want to lose some people, you know. Well, I mean, sometimes you do have to not lose them, but you have to let them find themselves. And that is an important distinction to make. Yeah, you know. Because I've had certain people in my life that I thought were gonna be there forever, you know. And you know, oh, there they go, you know. Things like that happen, you know. And I've had definitely, which this more so relates back to what I was talking about, I've had people change in ways that I don't like, you know. I've watched people change in ways that I don't like. But the people who have stuck around are also people that have changed, and in some ways that I don't like. Well, you know, you have to let them sometimes, you know. There's that age-old saying that, you know, let others make their mistakes, right? Because of course, you know, it's very, very easy to just say that, you know. But if you truly love that person, it's quite a difficult thing to think about, is it not? You know. Love is about being there for them. Whether they might feel it or not. You know, I should probably put a couple... I'm gonna put some torches in here just so I don't get a bunch of mobs spawning. You know what I should do? I should make these in a lantern so they're not as easy to break. Shoot. All right. Boom. Shoot. Well. No. I thought that might be a good enough lantern. But I guess not. It happens sometimes, you know. I don't know if you guys have ever made a mistake before, but I sure have, yeah. Let me get one over there too. Brighten up the area a little bit, you know, make it Made it a little bit nicer. Yeah, that should be good for right now. Oh, you know what I didn't bring is those potatoes. But hey, the area's coming together, you know. It's getting built one piece at a time, you know. Brick by brick, as my or no, as that Pharrell Williams biopic is called. Let's have a nice night, yeah. Oh, you know what? Shoot, I forgot to take my amoxicillin this morning. The other day at work, I accidentally cut part of my thumb off. I was dicing some green peppers and made a mistake. Not really much to it. It was just an accident, you know. I went into work yesterday, and everybody's asking me, you know, are you okay? Like, how did it happen and stuff? Not too big of a big deal. It was just simply, like, I cut the wrong way. You know, I didn't mean to. Obviously, my goal was to not go to the emergency room on Tuesday. Yeah. Ooh, missed. Boom. And I forgot the potatoes. But yeah. I'm gonna put a little bell out here. Aw. You a-hole. I should have gotten these potatoes growing earlier. Ow. You stay away. Literally just told myself the way I was going to do this farm, or at least I thought in my head, and then I immediately went back on it. Four, 5, and 6. Alright, I'm gonna get the rest of these seeds planted real quick. I think I did a couple too much, I don't know, soil spots, I guess. I don't really know what to call that. I'll try to get a little bit more here. Fill up the whole thing, you know, I've already kind of cut out the soil, yeah. Might as well continue. Man, that Minecraft soundtrack is hitting right now, though. Every once in a while, man, you just get that nice sweet spot, you know. Right. Well, boys, we made it. I'm gonna go. While this is kind of growing and stuff, I'm gonna go work on that basement that I was talking about earlier. I probably will make a chest room. I decided that. Make me more babies. One more? Shoot. Alright. Who wants some? Make more children. I think here one of the babies can grow up. Yeah. I'll be nice this time. Yeah. It's oh, it actually looks pretty nice outside. I thought it was supposed to rain today. And this bad boy is coming inside with me, though. Give me the stone. Alright. I'm just gonna make all these into stone bricks for now. Cool. Let's get mining. Woohoo! I don't think it's gonna be as big as actually I might just make it as big as what it is upstairs. Oh shoot, I'm out of iron. I was like, I know I'm forgetting something. Yeah. I feel like I have enough for down here. Hey, more coal. Only one. So sad. Alright. I think I will put the nether portal right here. This break. No, it doesn't. Sick. All right. All right. I forgot something, and I don't remember what it was. Now I'm a little bit confused. Confused, as my one of my coworkers would say. I had string somewhere. I guess not. Whatever. It happens, you know. Also finish off the roof too while I'm at it. Shoot, I forgot the obsidian. Damn it! That's so crazy. Oh man. How's everybody doing today? I'm pretty good. Yeah. I don't know why I just talked to myself there for a second. Anyway, well, you know what? She'll work for now, I suppose. And I got flint too. That's pretty good. I like that. I felt that it was wrong. I don't know what I'll put right here, but it'll be something. Maybe I'll expand out eventually, but for right now, I think this should be good. I'll put some flooring in real quick, and then the basement should be good for now. Perfect. Got some good use out of this diamond pickaxe, though. That's for damn sure. I think I might get... We have one more chest area, I think. Yeah, I definitely want a little bit more storage than what I have right now. I've just barely been listening to this Minecraft soundtrack, man. It is absolutely killing right now. Yeah, this should be good. You know what? I might as well, while I'm at it, let's just get a third one going. Why not? Ain't nothing wrong with it. Having a little bit more extra room. I feel like there's more wrong with having less room, you know? Shoot. First issue. I knew somewhere along this way we'd have something wrong. I'll figure out a way around it later. I wish you could make half slabs of dirt. You know, it's like such a weird thing to think about. Need 2 more slabs. And instead I make 4 because... I mean, you want to know why? Because I screw things up sometimes. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? Perfect, yeah. I like this. I like this setup. Well, alright then. Yeah, that going. I'm gonna... I think I might go check out what the nether looks like. For right now. I think that would seem fun to me, I suppose. Always some nice Minecraft music, you know. I got a lot out earlier, so that's why I haven't been talking much. But I'm pretty happy, you know, with this stuff. All right. I also got to find out a better way to light this up here. You know, I'm definitely gonna need some wood at some point. So I think that just might be what I go do now. I don't want to really take away any of these trees right now. I like them where they are right now, except for that one that's blocking the sunset. Other than that, though, still very satisfied. I think last episode I said I wouldn't make a chest room. And honestly, like, this episode, I got logged on. I was like, I want a chest room, you know. Kind of double back, you know, but it doesn't matter, you know. It's just at the end of the day, this is just a Minecraft world, and all this is me playing Minecraft. Yeah, you know, there's, like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. Oh shoot, you know what I think I did? I think I closed YouTube while I was uploading 6 hours worth of content. Enjoy those Beastie Boys. Oh, no, it uploaded. That's good. YouTube age restricted it. I don't know why, because I put that it wasn't made for kids. So, I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, right now, well, actually, right now, by the time this episode is uploaded, it'll be like 2 weeks from now. But there will be a Resident Evil video where I play Resident Evil 2. So you guys should check that out if you're interested. I do want to make a iron axe. I'm just gonna toss this to the side. I don't really need it. I'm gonna go over to this big oak wood forest over here. And I'll go about it this way, I suppose. God, Minecraft with shaders, man. Lord, does it look good. It's amazing how you can make Minecraft look so much better just with a little bit more effort. I'm not saying Mojang does a bad job. I just don't think they do enough. Like, they do put out solid updates, you know. And obviously Minecraft is one of the biggest games of all time, so compared to my no game knowledge or game development knowledge. I'm gonna try to use most of the birch wood for the chests, just because to be honest, I don't really care for birch wood at all. I think I've talked about this in other episodes, and I like never use it. So, I mean, that's now 8 chests, you know, that I have. So I need 48 birch logs to make the whole thing work. We were talking earlier about like fighting and stuff. I think in order to truly understand why people fight, you have to live through it. You know, I don't think it's something that could be studied, or it's something that can very easily be defined, you know. And that's more so what I'm trying to talk about with this episode, is less of, you know, oh, you know, how do you just not fight with somebody? How do you make the best of a bad situation, right? Because we've all been in bad situations before in our lives. And when you're kind of in that bad situation, it's less so about the situation and more how you bounce back from it, right? Wow, this area looks... Wow, that looks cool as hell. I'm gonna go check that out. But yeah, you know, when you kind of... Like, think about the best people you know that are best at handling fights and stuff like that well. Normally they end up being the kind of people who have direction, right? And who understand that they are heading in a direction that they truly don't really have like an understanding of, you know. And a lot of times people can misconstrue being headstrong with being confident, right? And being confident is more a way of being. Whereas I just think headstrong is just, you know, that you are heading in a direction, you know? Like, I'm confident that I'm going here in life. I, for example, I want to be in film, I want to write movies, right? I am confident, or I have a good head, knowing that I will end up somewhere in life, you know? That I won't just be 9-to-5 office job man. Now, if I was confident, I'd say I'm confident that I'll be a famous writer and everybody will know who I am and stuff like that. Those are two different things, in my opinion, you know. I think being headstrong is being able to look at a bad situation and being able to make some good out of it, you know. Because there's a lot of bad things in this world. We all know this, you know. It's no secret, you know. If you turn on the news channel for longer than 10 seconds, you'll see something bad pop up. Something negative, right? Well, I mean, yeah, you gotta take it one day at a time. Yeah, you can't possibly keep going through life so enamored by what's going wrong, you know. If you look too much into the past, you lose sight of the present. I think that's from Van Wilder. It's a National Lampoon movie. But there's some really great quotes about life in there, you know. And it's not to, you know, when you think about the people that you know, and you're just like, oh, you know, that guy just doesn't worry about it. Oftentimes, those people worry about it the most, you know. But they understand that, you know, the day is not yet done. You know, your life is not yet done. And all you can do is continue on, you know. Wish I had Optifine. I feel like I see something over there. Whatever, we'll go check it out at some point. I feel like that'll be where the next episode starts. Yeah. Look at that. It's coming together, guys. It's coming together. This is going to look really cool when it's done. I'm super excited for this. And like I talked about in the first episode, you know, this is my forever world, you know. This is where I'm going, you know. I'm going to make as many chests as this will make. Which is 32. Half a stack of chests. That is insane. Oh, you know what, though? I do have to make these slabs. I forgot. No, that poor chicken. I forgot about him. I think I'm just gonna have to kill him. There's no way around this. Poor baby. We'll get another one. All right. I'm just gonna make all these into slabs. Shoot. All right. Now the chests will be able to open. All right. I'll strip them. I hate the white on the birch. Give me this. Forgot about this. Oh, trying to mine this with a shovel. Alright, like I need a little bit more wood, but that's okay because I have a bunch more. It's a good thing I didn't stop, yeah. Right, then we need a little bit more. I think I just need to make the rest of this into... Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our official chest room. And I got all that nice birchwood out of my inventory. Finally. I'm telling you, like, I really do not like birchwood at all. Wish I believed this cobblestone, because we're about to go to the nether, baby. We're gonna make it happen. Let's say hypothetically this one will be food for now. Need to build a new shovel. And I definitely need some torches. That's from firing that 5.7 on back in Black Ops 2. That tap finger. Alright, I think for a nether expedition, I think I'm pretty good. I think I just need some food. I'm very happy with what I've done today. You know, I'm gonna go up in the hills and I want to see this at night, all lit up and stuff. Yeah, gotta figure out what to do with this. I think this is about as good as I can do right now. Sure, why not? Nice little dirt pile outside of the house, you know. Oh, there's a skeleton up here. Oh, never mind. It's just inside the there's like a cave back here, and I think at some point I'll probably end up clearing it out just to get that mob sound out of here. I'm praying that we get a good nether spawn, because to be honest, I hate the nether a lot. Look at that, you know, getting some lights down here. I can't wait till I kind of interconnect everything. That'll be within the next couple episodes, I'm sure of. Yeah. Look at that, though. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Definitely get something up here, too. This nice little platform. Yeah. Stay away. Stay away. Stay away. Power of Christ compels you. I'm gonna get all this stuff inside, finally. And I think, finally, we have a full house. I think it's here, you know? Here's what I think I'm gonna do, though. Yeah, take the blast furnaces, put them like that. That'll work. And say hypothetically, yep, smoker right there. Got a nice little kitchen island here, you know. Got to make sure it's prime real estate. I'll just do this. Why not? Get them out of my inventory. All right. Yeah, we're solid. Like I'm not like low on anything right now. This has been a good survival world so far. Haven't had too many issues. I haven't died yet either. Knock on wood now that I think about, like, I'm about to go to the nether, yeah. You know, if I die, unfortunately, I might just have to die, you know. Put the obsidian up here, though. Here's what I do want to make right now is some, oh, you know what? No? Okay, before I go to the nether, I'm gonna repopulate the farms real quick. And then we go to the nether. We'll just check out the spawn. I'm not planning on going too much unless, like, we spawn in another fortress, you know. That's a whole different story there. I also need some more food. I'll take this potion with me too. This pot, if you will. Kids don't do drugs. Gotta light this up. The stone farm, I guess. Yeah. I think I left all my wheat down here, so. Thank God I did. I'll leave a couple bales of wheat. Who wants to eat, baby? Get a lot of good yeah, torch. My torch. I said it's my torch. Cows are growing too. Yeah. Second I get a looting free sword, I mean, we'll be golden. For right now, at least, yeah. I don't think I have any seeds. Also, thought I opened the thing. Gotta make them take their clothes off, you know. It's never okay without consent, though. Lest we forget. Alright, sounds good. And then I'm gonna get an item frame for this flint and steel. Solid. Alright. Things are growing nice, yeah. Making good progress here. Let's get in the nether, baby. Yeah, I don't really have much more I want to talk about, though, you know. Actually, I would like to get some of these chickens going, though. Just until the wheat farm's ready. And I'll be overstocked on seeds. I'll try to get like 10 seeds or so. Parkour, parkour. Alright, we are ready. We are ready and prepared. And we are, as Ponyboy is, golden. Dude, I love that book, The Outsiders. I liked a lot of the books I read in high school, but I'm a big reader, so, you know. I think I just like reading in general. Oh, I left the shears. can't waste this 2 iron, you know. I say that now and then we're gonna go through a drought and I'm just not gonna have anything. Alright. Let's get going, guys. Let's do it. I'm ready, I'm pumped. We are prepared for the nether. You know, I might take F11. It is not F11. Is that a screenshot? Nope. F9. F8. What is the screenshot button? I'm just gonna look it up real quick. Toggle full. Oh, take screenshot. F2. Alright. I gotta find out also where these screenshots are getting saved. But anyway, let's jump in. Please be a good spawn. Please be a good spawn. Okay. You know what? A safe spawn is better than anything else, in my opinion. It's actually, yeah, this is a solid spawn. Right now, I would rather not be in a basalt delta. Okay, never mind. Maybe this... Is that... It's not a nether fortress, is it? Or is that a bastion? That can't be another fortress. Whatever. Alright. I'm gonna explore a little bit. Not gonna lie, yeah, like I said, I don't really like the nether. I do not trust anything in the nether. I'm always so nervous that I end up like mining one block and just falling into a pit of lava. Yeah. This is blackstone, yeah. Sick. All right. Oh, you know what? I don't have any gold on me. I'm just gonna build a bridge over here, though. I think this magma cube just gonna knock me right off, dude. Sorry, a piglin. Alright, well, you know what? At least we found area to go to. I'll waste through the rest of this. Make a little panic room real quick, I guess. Awesome. Should I just get level 30 while I'm here? Now all I need is an enchantment room. Honestly, do we go for the end portal next episode? Instead of waiting for these books, maybe I just go find the end portal? Start enchanting some stuff, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I think that might be the play. Because I know I already talked about exploring, you know. Also, this will be the nether chest for now. Guys, I think this is where I'm going to end it, though. But I am going to find that Hunter Thompson quote real quick. It's, I can hear something out here. Is it on top? Is it on the roof? It's definitely in here. But, yeah, I'm gonna find a good spot to kind of end this out on. I'm gonna go over there. I don't really need much more paper, you know, so. Guys, look at that. That is gorgeous, dude. I'll just take a screenshot of that. Potential thumbnail, yeah. But yeah, let me pause real quick and find this quote because it's a really good quote. All right, from Hunter Thompson. Every reaction is a learning process. Every significant experience alters your perspective. So it would seem foolish, would it not, to adjust our lives to the demands of a goal we see from a different angle every day? How could we never hope to accomplish anything? And anther than galloping neurosis. Think about it, guys. Everybody, I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful week. By the time this is uploaded, I think it should be August by that point. So, over halfway through the year, school's starting up soon for all you college kids, and, you know, work starting up next week for you 9-to-5ers. But guys, seriously, thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. You guys are making this really fun for me, and just knowing that I can make something that people enjoy is what I'm here for. As always, stay tuned through the socials that are in the links to the YouTube videos and the Twitch channel. And I hope to see you guys very, very soon. Have a wonderful one, and I will see you soon. Peace out.